the forests of southern Brazil, thick, wet, and crawling with danger. This isn't the kind of place you go for adventure or glory. No, this is survival. Out here, the rules are simple. It's either you or the wild takes you whole. We came not for thrill, but to defend villages plagued by an aggressive wild boar invasion. The stakes were high, the danger real, and every step forward felt like walking straight into the heart of chaos, ready to step into the hunt. Let's go. It was barely 5 a.m. when our hunting truck sliced through the fog-drenched jungle. Every branch, every shadow whispered a warning. Our dogs, trained, relentless, and hungry for the chase, were let loose, darting through the thick brush like streaks of lightning. Minutes later, their sharp barks broke the stillness. They'd found something. The sound grew frantic. We moved fast, hearts pounding, rifles raised. Then I saw it, a massive shadow thrashing through the undergrowth. I steadied my aim, exhaled slowly, and pulled the trigger. One clean shot. The beast dropped. Relief swept through the team. But deep down, we knew this was only the beginning. The real battle had just begun. We pressed deeper into the jungle. The terrain grew tougher, the air heavier. Suddenly the dogs barked again, their calls echoing from a nearby ridge. We sprinted toward the sound, and there it was, another wild boar, bigger, meaner, charging straight through the trees. I fired again. Another precise hit, another threat neutralized, but every victory brought new tension. For every boar we took down, more seemed to emerge from the shadows. Our mission wasn't sport, it was survival for the locals whose crops and lives were under siege. Every shot fired wasn't just a bullet, it was a promise kept. Hours later, heat shimmered across the forest. The dogs picked up another scent and bolted, tearing through vines and mud. Their barks became a compass, leading us to the next confrontation. I could hear my own heartbeat in my ears. Then movement. A massive boar broke through the brush. I didn't hesitate. The rifle roared, echoing through the trees. Silence followed, but silence in a hunt like this never lasts. We switched tactics, tracking devices out, searching water channels and tight ravines. Then there it was again, the distinct grunt of a cornered beast. I aimed, fired, and watched the final chase of the day come to a sudden thunderous end. Experience and teamwork. Had once again saved the day. Meanwhile, miles away, John's team was on their own mission. When the call came in, they moved like clockwork. No wasted motion, no second guessing. A rustle in the bushes, a flash of dark fur, and then boom, a perfect hit. Hours of relentless pursuit paid off. Together our teams reclaimed peace for the villagers who had been living in fear. But this fight wasn't confined to Brazil. Across the world in Morocco, Thomas and Finn faced the same enemy. Their farmlands were being ripped apart night after night, fruit trees uprooted, fields destroyed, families terrified. By dawn, both teams were ready. This wasn't a hunt anymore, it was a rescue mission. Thomas led the first strike in his family's orange grove. The hounds were released, their barking piercing the quiet morning. Seconds later, a blur of movement. A massive boar charged straight toward him. Thomas didn't flinch. One shot. The boar collapsed mid-run. Perfect execution. The rest of the team moved in, sweeping the grove clean, ending the chaos that had plagued his land. Meanwhile, Finn's group was battling up the southern hillside, where another herd had taken refuge. Dust rose behind their trucks as they closed in. The moment Finn spotted movement, his instincts took over. Gunfire cracked through the air, echoing off the slopes. Within minutes, the hillside went silent again. Another threat eliminated. But the wild wasn't done yet. More boars appeared, tearing through the brush in a desperate dash for escape. The hunters unleashed a storm of bullets, cutting off every exit. The sound of gunfire rolled like thunder. When it stopped, calm returned. Victory once again belonged to the hunters. Across the world, the story was repeating itself. In France, wild boars were destroying over 3,000 hectares of farmland every year. Hunting wasn't just allowed, it was necessary. Nick's team moved at dawn, following tracks etched into the soft ground. Every sense was on high alert. Then a sudden movement. A massive creature burst from cover. Nick didn't blink. One steady shot, one clean hit, down it went. James, positioned on the southern slope, spotted another shadow. One heartbeat later, his rifle cracked. Another flawless shot, another win for precision and focus. Together, Nick and James pushed deeper into the forest, securing every inch of land they swore to protect. And just when they thought it was over, a low grunt cut through the quiet. The final boar charged. Nick steadied his aim one last time. Bang! The echo faded, leaving only silence. The forest was theirs again, but halfway across the ocean, a new front was forming. California, with over 6 million wild pigs roaming free, destroying crops, forests, and native habitats. This was no small crisis. The hunters knew hesitation meant defeat. At sunrise we rolled into position, rifles ready. The first herd appeared, dust rising behind them. I locked onto the largest one, took a breath, and fired. A clean hit. The boar went down. Leon signaled from the ridge, more movement ahead. We moved fast, coordinating positions like clockwork. The moment they appeared, shots rang out in quick bursts. One fell, then another, until the herd scattered in panic. Every second mattered. Every missed shot meant another field destroyed. By the end, the hunt had pushed us to our limits. But standing there, the silence heavy and the air thick with gunpowder, one truth hit me. The real victory wasn't just over the wild, it was over fear, exhaustion, and doubt. Portugal faced the same story. 2 hectares of farmland turned to wasteland in just 48 hours. Locals were desperate. We answered their call. As the dogs picked up the scent, chaos erupted once more. A 200-kilogram boar charged straight at me. I didn't think, I reacted. The shot hit clean, stopping it just meters away. My hands shook. It could have gone either way, but we didn't stop. Dividing into teams, we closed off the fields from all sides. Hours of relentless pursuit later, the last boar dropped. The relief was indescribable. The farmland finally safe, and just when dusk settled we saw them. One last herd at the edge of the fields, but this time they wouldn't make it far. The shots echoed one final time, and with that the battle was over. Across continents, the story stayed the same.